Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of ERICSPLANATION. First up on the show, I want to start talking about suffering and victim mentality and how suffering can be used as a security blanket. As usual, I want to start things off by saying these are just my opinions from my own experience in my life. This is my truth. If it's not your truth, find your own truth. But if anything I do say happens to resonate or help you in any way, then that's excellent because we're all here to help one another out. With that said, let's get started. All right, to start things off, I think that more people than they realize have this issue of being addicted to their suffering or identifying with a victim identity, using their suffering and their pain as a security blanket. There's a vast amount of people that do this that are just completely unaware that this is what they do. There are some people that kind of on the fringes of their consciousness, they kind of know they do, but they don't want to admit to it. Basically what it is that, throughout the course of our lives, we kind of develop an identity about ourselves. More often than not, even though you might have sort of different identities at different points, most people do develop a victim mentality, a victim identity. When you've gone through life for a while and you've developed these kind of victim identities about yourself, you live in it for so long that it becomes so familiar that to get out of that zone is unfamiliar and it makes you uneasy, and you want to just go right back into being a victim, or go right back into your pain and your suffering because that's what's familiar to you. Even though it hurts, even though you say you want to be better, or you want things to be better, in truth, a lot of people are actually really addicted to their suffering and to their pain. Now, if anybody out there knows this better than I do, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that the emotions that we feel and we experience are actually chemicals produced in the brain. So if love or hatred or suffering or being a victim, being sad or depressed, whatever it is that you experience the majority of the time, if you experience this thing enough, then that means your body is going to become chemically dependent on that emotion. So a lot of us are really literally addicted to pain or suffering or sadness, depression, or being a victim, because it's what your brain, that is the chemical it's been producing and feeding your body for years and years. So you're going to become addicted to it. What can I do about it? How can I change things? So I'd say that there's at least 3 steps you want to go through. First of all, you have to become aware that you're doing it, and you have to become aware of how you are doing it. What is the thing that you are attached to? What is the victim mentality or the suffering that you are personally attached to, either chemically through the brain or just the fact that you've made an identity out of it. That's the first step. And this is a hard one because it's so close to you. It's like right here. It's kind of hard to see that, it took me a long time to realize that I was playing the role of a victim, of somebody who is at the mercy of the universe and at the mercy of bad luck all the time. And because it was part of who I was so much, it was right here. It was really hard for me to see. It took a while. But it was because I was willing to look into myself and see these things. Whether they were pretty or ugly, I was trying to get to know myself. And this is something you're going to have to do. Really think about it. And it could take a while for you to figure out exactly if you have this problem and what it is. But that's the first step. You got to become aware of it. First, you have to admit that you have this issue. And the second thing is you want to commit to becoming aware of the moments when you start to slip into this negative trait, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen a lot, and it's going to happen over and over again. Sometimes you'll just slip right into it and not realize it for a while, or maybe not at all. You'll just slip right into it because it's like a glove that you've worn your whole life. It just fits so easily, and you're so used to unconsciously just putting it on. You're going to do this a few times before you start to even become aware that, oh, I'm doing it again. But that's the second step. You want to make a commitment that when you start to do it, you're going to become aware of it. And it's not going to happen overnight, but over a few months, over a few years, you'll start to get it right away. As soon as you start to slip into it, you'll go, oh, here we go. I'm going back into victim mode. The third thing you want to do to help heal this aspect of yourself is that you want to set your intentions to be better. Whatever your issue is, you want to set the intention that is the polar opposite in a positive direction. Every time you become aware that you're about to slip into this mentality, or that you're going to slink back into the familiarity of your suffering and your pain, make the intention that, no, I can be better than this, and I choose to be better than this. It's something that you will work on for the rest of your life. But this is the way it works, at least in my experience, is that, like, say this is the negative trait and it's kind of owned you for the large chunk of your life, and now you've become aware and you're trying to change the pattern, and you're starting to feed this positive side a little bit more, and it's starting to grow. And the less you feed the negativity, it starts to wither and fade away. And it's still going to catch you every once in a while, but as long as you stay mindful and stay vigilant, you keep feeding the positive side, eventually it's just going to fade away. And it may take a while, but it will. And this, when it gets to a certain point, it'll reach a point where it's becomes self-sufficient, and you don't have to constantly try and refocus yourself. It'll become your new habit, your new addiction to positive feelings and positive energy and a positive mindset about yourself, and it'll just start to bloom on its own, and you won't have to try too hard anymore. It'll just become automatic. And one of the reasons why people turn back to their suffering is when they start to get out of the zone. The fear thought comes into your mind that, well, what if this doesn't last? Why should I be happy now or think that things are going to get better? What if it doesn't last? What if it all crumbles on me, and I'm better off just staying in the pain than trying to let myself have hope? Some people are afraid to get their hopes up, and you should be realistic about it, but don't be afraid to experience something new and positive because you're afraid it won't last. First of all, it's not going to last in the sense that your ego wants it to be forever. The ego wants to be forever happy, forever satisfied, forever taken care of and at peace. But life works in ups and downs. You're going to experience those. But you can either stay down most of the time, or you can reverse that and you can be up most of the time. And sure, you'll have some dips, you'll have some challenges in life. But if you feed these positive habits and get rid of the old victim mentality, you can be up more of the time than you are down. So thanks for watching my video, and I hope this helped you in any way at all. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. If you need me to go into more detail, I will either write you back or I'll make another video and I'll try and explain it in further detail. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.